Millions of years ago, actually, about 40 years ago, Hasbro executives met and gave us Transformers the movie, often called a glorified toy commercial. And as we approach the 40th anniversary, I'm going to tell you how the corporate quest to make more money inadvertently created a timeless classic that would be talked about for decades. This is the story of the greatest Transformers film of all time. This is the story of Transformers the movie. The cost of change is always risky and huge. Transformers from 84 to 86 was the hottest kids show on television. Ratings through the roof, toys flying off the shelves, and then we get the Transformers movie. And what happens when all the excited children go to watch it? A bunch of action in the beginning, all their favorite characters are fighting, and then death and destruction everywhere, which many of them tolerated, but then they killed Optimus Prime. Kids are screaming and crying in theaters, kids are walking out, parents are upset, and then they did something even worse, something that's not talked about often enough. They killed my favorite character, Starscream. What a tragedy. But on top of that, they killed many characters: Brawn, Prowl, Ratchet, Ironhide. And even some of the characters they didn't kill, they were fundamentally changed. If you were a Megatron fan, now he's Galvatron. You like Thundercracker, Skywarp, and the Insecticons? Well, they got changed too. And all the other characters you might have liked, like Soundwave, Bumblebee, any Dinobot not named Grimlock, well, they're going to take a back seat from here on out. They're going to be in very few episodes and most likely just be background characters. The result of this is an angry letter campaign to the networks about Optimus Prime dying. So not only does the movie tank, but at that point, season three's ratings start slipping. They change animation companies that have all these new characters, and people start losing interest. So much so that the show's final four season gets cut short, and that is pretty much the end for quite a while. Well, why would they do this? After all, this is the 80s. Killing characters in an animated film is very unheard of at this point, especially for a film based off a television show. Well, the Transformers toys had been on the shelves for a few years, and now it was time to make room for more. So, the best way to do this is out with the old, in with the new. We'll just kill them in an epic fashion, introduce a bunch of new characters, and people will love them. They're robots. It doesn't really matter, and boy, were they wrong. While the movie was made to sell toys, and they continue to do so, the fact that they killed their star character, who was beloved by everybody, really hurt their show and their everyday advertisement for their product. But at the same time, the show created a happy accident, a coming of age story. Transformers the movie is about Hot Rod. He is a young Autobot, at least young by millions of years standards, I guess. And he inadvertently gets Optimus Prime killed. Now, he probably should have been tried and executed for treason, but of course that doesn't happen. And after Optimus Prime dies, who's a mentor to Hot Rod, just like he is for all the other Autobots, he doesn't even have time to grieve. Hot Rod has to deal with that, he gets thrown in a lot of terrible situations, and by the end of the movie, though, he is chosen by the Matrix to be the new Prime, and he becomes Rodimus Prime, and he saves the day. That's the long story short version. But this parallels real life and relates to people in so many ways. Many people have lost a father figure, brother, uncle, some kind of mentor, and then they were all of a sudden thrust into adulthood and responsibility. This film taught people about death, loss, change, failure, and believing in yourself and rising to the occasion. And that is so relatable to so many people out there. I don't know if that was the actual film's intention, but the story really holds up. And I can promise you, those executives at Hasbro had no idea how the death of Optimus Prime would affect so many people and how beloved the character actually was. He basically was the hero of the 1980s, more popular than any other hero on any show or any comic book. But that level of responsibility, all wrapped up in a toy commercial package, really hit home with a lot of people. But besides the coming of age story, why does this film work? Well, it has an all star cast: Leonard Nimoy. This is Orson Welles' final film. Judd Nelson, Robert Stack, a lot of big heavy hitters, and the animation was done by Toei, the people that bring you the Dragon Ball franchise. It is some of the best animation in the 1980s, even though it does have that one part where Devastator hits Slug and his eyes bulge out of his head like it's some kind of Looney Tunes cartoon. But I overlook that stuff because I'm an unbiased reviewer. But besides the story beats and animation, this thing has a killer soundtrack. You Got to Touch has to be one of those songs that people just associate with the whole decade. Also, fantastic action and transformations. The fights between Optimus and Megatron, watching the Constructicons make Devastator, the transformation from Megatron to Galvatron, the Planet World Eater Unicron transforming into this giant robot ready to destroy Cybertron. So recognizable that the Mel Brooks film Spaceballs even parodied it. Transformers the movie. It wasn't just an action movie, it was a cultural milestone and a perfect representation of the time, but it went beyond that and became a timeless classic. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, Transformers the movie from 1986 is not only the best Transformers, it is not just a toy commercial. It was a life lesson about growing up and taking responsibility, stepping up and meeting the challenge. It taught us so many things about life, and that's why people keep coming back to it. That's why it's a timeless classic, because it's more than just what it looks like on its surface. And this film right here, Transformers the movie, really did have the touch. And for me, it's a 5-star experience because I'm an unbiased reviewer. So let me know, have you seen Transformers the movie? And if you haven't, you should. And what are your favorite memories from this film? Thank you for watching the Derek Ruby Show, and I'll see you guys next time.